All right, everyone. So I'm doing this video. I'm playing a little bit of Payday 2, and the reason for that is because Payday 2 is getting a subscription service. Okay, now this was shocking to me when I first saw it. I'll be honest, this was pretty shocking to me. It's going to be $5 a month, and we're going to be playing in a game in a second. I'm going to find one, wait for one that comes up that I like, but it's $5 a month or $20 for 6 months because of all the DLC. Now, it's interesting listening to this because obviously Payday 2, all right, this is a game that I've played. We'll do Bank Heist, I think. I think that would be pretty fun. This is a game that I've played for hundreds on top of hundreds of hours. When this game first came out, okay, Payday 2, I played this thing in beta at the time, right? This thing was a beta when I was playing it. And I can still play it to this day because it really, really is a phenomenal game. And it's so much fun. The problem with this streaming service, from what I've read from people, and it seems like a lot of people aren't happy, put in the comments section below if you're one of those people that aren't happy or if you are happy with it, because I understand the idea of like, we're going to make something that makes all these DLCs cheaper, right? I completely understand that, but I don't think a subscription service is the way to do it. I don't think people are going to want to pay this. And it gets even worse when you factor in that this isn't the most current Payday game, right? So we have Payday 3 that's out. And Payday 3 is not better. Let me be very clear. Payday 3 is not better than this game in the sense of it doesn't do everything that this game does, right? Now, graphically, okay, it's better, right? Even how does it feel? Probably feels a little bit better, right? It feels a lot better. It's a game that came out probably over a decade after this game. But the difference is this game feels like Payday. Payday 3 doesn't. Payday 3 doesn't live up, I don't think, to this game. And I'm not just saying this from a standpoint of it doesn't live up to it because it doesn't have all the kind of bells and whistles that this thing has. Everybody kind of understood that that's going to be the case, right? Everybody knows that this wasn't going to be how to that you can't expect a Payday game. And I don't know why oh, that's a camera. Okay, be careful. Uh, Why is he not going down here? I'm using the controller on the PC. Okay, no, it's not. What is going on here? What, I can't yell. It's not letting me yell. Is RB to yell? Oh yeah, RB. Okay, okay. Um, so like I was saying, we all understand that this wasn't going to be, like the as soon as Payday 3 came out, wasn't going to have all the bells and whistles that this had because these are games that are built over the course of years, right? So this game came out in 2013. I don't remember exactly when Payday 3 came out. Maybe it was 2024 or 2023. And we're not going to be going stealthy. I probably should just say screw it, right? No, actually, oh yeah, okay, we can just say screw it. Yeah, this guy already saw me. But we understood it wasn't going to be have everything that this game had off the bat, right? We understood that that wasn't going to happen. But we also thought it was at least going to be like, okay, there's a lot of excitement here, right? This is a perfect foundation. If they build on this over the course of the next, decade, as they did with this game, we'll get a game just as good. And they did not do that. Let's just be clear. They did not do that. Maybe on this channel, we'll go through and we'll play a little bit of Payday again, Payday 3 game, just to see if maybe now it's kind of living up to it a little bit more. But this game was perfect because it mixed that perfect feel of the kind of arcadey style gameplay with if you wanted to be a serious heister with elements of that, right? It was the perfect like, okay, if you want to be a serious heister and do these crazy heists and be stealthy, you could do that easily, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You could do that easily. If you want to kind of play it where you're just kind of going through these missions, guns blazing, you could do that too, right? And that's awesome. And that's something that Payday 3 I don't think does. I think Payday 3 completely forgets what it is in that sense. It completely kind of changes itself. And part of me, if I remember when I played it a while ago, right? So I could be misremembering, but one thing I remember when I was playing Payday 3 is I just felt this lost a little bit of the charm. You know, this game had such cool like masks, right? So you can customize obviously and unlock masks. But another part that was awesome, and I think this has since changed in Payday 2, but I think in hindsight, I it's one of the reasons I just loved this game was in the beginning, and I'm talking, the beta, I'm talking when it first was released, the really only way you could get new weapons, you could get masks, you can get attachments was by you can get these packages to unlock stuff, but also it was by the you selected a card after the game, and I think they still have them, so maybe we'll get to see it after this game. But you selected a card and you would unlock something, a new mask, a new weapon, a new attachment, right? That was how you did it. And I know a lot of people didn't like it because I do understand why. Some people didn't like it at the time because they said, "Well, this is pretty ridiculous that I'm trying to get a certain weapon or a certain attachment, and it's basically a game of luck, right?" And I do understand that, right? That makes sense. You just it's not great, okay? And this you should have other ways, which I think they did add in, right? I think you could buy weapons and stuff now, just right off the just with the money you get. And I remember that was a big problem in the beginning of this game was people didn't really know what exactly to do with the money that you did get. You could like gamble it and buy cards, but there wasn't like you didn't if you couldn't unlock stuff, there wasn't a ton that you could actually use it for. And I do remember that. But I guess the reason why looking back, and I was one of the people that actually liked it back in the day. Others didn't. I'm just wanting to be fair to, the game and say, yeah, people didn't love that even back then at that time. But one of the things I liked about it was it just shows the kind of um, outside the box thinking that they utilized, right? Like they were utilizing this thing where it's like, not that wouldn't be like that's not a common thing to have in a game, like that kind of unlock system. But they just weren't scared to do crazy shit, right? They weren't scared to just put crazy stuff into this game, and it showed, right? It was so fun, and I feel like with Payday 3, you just don't get that fun vibe. There's none of that. Let's take a risk on this. It just doesn't, hit the same, I guess, and that's really the sad part. And that brings me back to the point of the video, which is this service. I don't know what the full reaction from people is because some people may say, look, this is gonna and save me money, right? And I don't have to go buy all these DLCs. Although I would just say if I'm someone, I would just prefer to pay a little bit for the DLCs, right? If they have a big bundle, instead of like trying to pay it $5 a month. I I don't know. I just don't see that necessarily as the right way. But if if even if you think it's fine, right? That streaming service or the streaming service subscription service, even if you think that's fine and that's not really a big deal, the problem comes in when you realize that okay, this isn't the most current game, right? This isn't the last game that they released, right? They have Payday, right? They have Payday 3. Like this isn't the last game. And the fact that you still have, you know, the them focusing on this game and people playing this game so much and them launching a subscription service for this game is in a way kind of like an acknowledgement of yeah, our new game, right, isn't anywhere near as good as this one. In my opinion, I'm not saying for sure they're saying that. I'm just saying it makes you wonder. You know, it makes you wonder a little bit. Like even this, right? You can convert an enemy. That's one of the on the skill tree. So now he shoots for you, and we'll kill some people. Like even that, right? It's like it's just creative. It's fun. It's cool. Um, and don't get me wrong, there are some quality of life improvements in the other game. Like in the other game, the bots can take some of the packages and stuff like that. That's all cool. But it just doesn't have like it has a decade on this game, right? It has everything, everything going for it, and that you could have taken all the good from this and kept it and all the bad and fixed it. And instead, it just doesn't feel like they did that. And I think when we get down to it, at the end of the day, that's really the frustrating part of this, right? And I think the part that a lot of people don't love about the Payday 2, this kind of subscription thing, because they're recognizing that what Payday fans wanted was Payday 3 to be better than this game. What Payday fans wanted was to be able to sit down and play Payday 3 as much as they played this game, you just can't. And this was definitely a game that I didn't keep up with all the way through. Like I played it for a while and then I was kind of done with it. But I did come back from time to time. Like I remember I probably played I probably played 2013, 2014, 2015 into 2016. I stopped and then I came back during 2020. So, I didn't play the whole cycle, right? And I missed a lot of the DLCs, but I did play a decent amount. And then I came back in 2020 and I found I think there was one thing, it was like this kind of Santa thing where you could just keep going mission to mission. Like they added a ton of cool stuff that I like trying. And so we will try Payday 3 again and see. And I don't want to, I also want to say this. I don't want to say Payday 3 is a bad game that I don't have any fun with and will never play again. I did have fun with Payday 3. The problem is it's living up to Payday 2. And is it as addicting as Payday 2? No. Does it reinvent the wheel the way that Payday 2 did? Like if you play Payday the Heist, the first game, and you compare it with this one, you reasonably look at it and go, wow, they made major improvements, right? It is a better game. Payday the Heist, Payday 1 is fun, but this is a better game, I think, in almost every way. Payday 3, I don't think people feel that way. And now you add on, like I said, the subscription service, and I just think that it rubs people the wrong way. And I'm going off of, I was reading some of the Steam reviews after made of this game after this was announced. And one of the first ones was like, I'm never buying anything from Starbreeze again. And, look, I don't know if that's something that that person is going to stick to. I don't know if that's the dominant thought process of people in the community, but it could be. I wouldn't be shocked. And that's kind of the worst part of this whole thing, right? Is that people feel that way. And it's the fact that I feel like I'm not shocked that people might do that tells you a lot about what's going on with Payday. Just is. All right, I guess that's enough talking about it. We could talk about what's going on in this actual game we're playing now because I kind of gone in circles at this point. But I just wanted to do this video because I am a Payday fan. And to see what's kind of happening with the series and what worries me is we may never get, oh, and I got hit by a cloaker there. We may never get like another Payday game like this. One that really is so widely accepted as a great game and so widely accepted as fun and so addicting. You know, every YouTube video I watch about Payday 3 from the Payday guys, these are people that put hours and hours, even like I put a lot of time into this back in the day, but these people are experts, right? They're doing every mission on the hardest difficulty. They're stealthing as many as they can. Like these are the real deal people, right? These are the ones who understand this game better than anyone. And I want to, oh, I can make them carry stuff. Okay. I don't know if that was an update or what, but we can. So this is perfect. So also, just so you guys know for this mission, if you ever played this, if you're now getting into Payday and you want to play Payday 2, if you can use the saw and take all of these out, that's what we used to do. We used to stealth this mission, and you can get all the loot, or you could pick the lock. But the problem is the lock pick takes a while. So we'll pick one lock just to show you. Um, but yeah, that's it for this mission, right? This is how you do it. But and I kind of forgot what I was saying there. Yeah. What I was saying is I want there to be a Payday game that's like this, right? That everybody in the community is just like, man, this rocks. Let's go. This rocks. Can't wait to play it. And I just don't know if we will ever get that. I don't. If everybody's just kind of not happy with Payday 3, what is the way out for Starbreeze to get people back on board? If Payday 3 doesn't deliver, what excitement will there be for Payday 4? And maybe can they turn around with DLCs? I don't know. It feels like at this point, people just, oh, there's a sniper. That's the worst. That's the worst. Okay. It just feels like people are kind of done. And it doesn't, I'm not saying that in the sense of Payday, there's no way, right? Because I still think there's, what I've read, there's large player numbers coming back to this game. And I just got myself killed. Just try to take out as many as we can. But supposedly there's large player numbers coming back to this game, which kind of shows you there's people that want to play it. But how do they turn around Payday 3? And I'm not sure that leaning into further monetizing this game is necessarily going to be the right way. I just don't know. if that is going to be the right way. But only time will tell. Now, where is everybody else? Why are they not running over here? We could use you. Should I go get this gold now, I guess? Yeah, I guess I gotta go slow with gold, though. Money you can move fast with, the gold not so much, and snipers suck. Let's just get that on the record. They are terrible. Get over here. Come on. We want to get out of here. But yeah, I mean, just as a longtime Payday fan, I'm hoping, like anything, that we get the game that we deserve out of Payday 3. I want to be, this channel is a gaming channel overall, but I want to have a month where I'm just posting a bunch of Payday 3 stuff because it's so fun. Maybe we'll go back and every once in a while play some Payday. We could, right? We'll see. Now, let's see if they still have the... So you used to be able to do these packages, and once you got enough, you know, you have 50... Oh, the safe house. I haven't even checked out some of the changes with that. Oh, I just ranked up. Cool. Wait, there's another day? Oh, we got to escape? Oh, shit. Okay. We got to escape. Let's do this thing. This was the other thing they added with the kind of days, you know, here, which at the time, like, it really was a big deal when this first came out. A little bit less of a big deal now, but it really... Hey, take the bag. Take the bag. Where is... Take the bag. And I guess I could take one until we get into a real firefight. Now I gotta stay alive here. This might get bad. We have to stay alive though, because I need to see if they still have those cards at the end, so I can show you guys. But yeah, I love this game. Even playing it now, it just brings back so many memories. It's almost gotten to the point, I'll be honest, there are so many heists in this game that it's kind of shocking, actually. It's kind of overwhelming. Like there was not that. I mean, there was a good amount at launch, but there wasn't as many as this. And I remember when it first launched, all of the different all of the different people that were upset with PrimeNet and all of the different things. And there was reason, especially at launch, right, to be upset with some of those things. But I just remember, I think everybody would be in agreement now of like, if we could go back, we would do it in a heartbeat and play from that version of the game versus, you know, because Payday 3's launch was rough. No questions asked. People weren't happy with it. Then you had the whole thing where, you know, people that got kind of to play it early, they felt like they were kind of screwed over too, because they were like, oh yeah, the what we played was great, and then it ended up not being anything like what they played. Which, if you're a content creator, that I can't think of something that would kind of piss you off more than that. You're like, okay, you just, you know, I went in front of my audience and said this, and now we got a completely different game, right? And now that makes me look bad. But that kind of shit was happening with Payday 2. Like at launch, there were problems. You know, there, like I said, CrimeNet. There were many problems, but the game had, like, the problems aren't even, although a lot of the things people complain about, some of the issues, aren't even necessarily the problem. Right? They're not even necessarily the issue with the game. It's just the fact that the game itself doesn't have the same, like, this game just has it. Even though if you're a hardcore player and you love doing stealth missions and the longest, like the hardest ones, this game is for you. But it's also, if you just want to do what we did here, we walked into that bank, right, and now we're escaping, and it's just been a firefight. It's just been fun, and I'm using this gun that looks sick. Like, that's just fun, right? There's nothing else to say. It's just fun. And even with bots, and I keep going down because I don't think I'm properly suited. I didn't really check what I was using before this. I was just hoping that when I last played, I left my right stuff on. But all right, we can finally escape. Let's get the hell out of here because I'm not doing too well. Patch yourself up. Let me wait for okay. And I don't know if running is the right way to go about this. I mean, honestly, we don't even need to. Do we have? Did they drop the gold? Should I sit here with he? Oh, he dropped it to revive me. We don't really need the gold. I don't really care. I got enough money. Wait, we just got a good haul? How? We didn't get away with anything. The other thing was the offshore versus the spending cash. Like the offshore did basically nothing. I remember that was a big scandal. So many things. What the hell? All right, I want to see if they give us the card still so I can show you guys. I don't know. Oh, they do. So this was it. So you pick the card. So like the one on the left is a weapon attachment, the one on the right is a color. And so what is this? I don't know. A weapon skin. So they added that. That wasn't at launch, but that was a cool system. You know, like it's just something different in the game. Um, I don't know. They have a big buy Payday 3 now. So hopefully they fix it. And if they do, maybe we'll be sitting here one day and saying it was worth it. It was worth it. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.